Edward, what up? Biz, happy belated birthday, my friend. Sorry I missed the opportunity to say it to you on your birthday. Give me 1 second, friends. Just refreshed the channel, guys. Sorry about that. There you go. Bring it back. On the first cup. Alright. Okay. And you'll be back after? Alright, cool. Yeah, sounds good. Alright, bye. Yeah, for sure. Thank you, bitch, for stopping in. I appreciate that, man. See you soon. Yeah, do us a solid and vote for us. H, what up? Hi, Ann. How are you? Good morning. One second, friends. Yeah, it's a daily voting thing. We're going up against 4 states, so let's get it. You know, they're pulling out all the stunts. Why not us? Yeah, I already told all my family members, so they're voting daily too. Just to be recognized is an honor, you know, just to be put in that category with some of those crazy restaurants that I think are amazing is cool. So I'll take it, you know what I'm saying? Right, exactly. We're talking, we need to get the boats, you know, we're campaigning right now. We got 2 weeks left, literally, today. Yeah, and 2 Fridays, that's it, we're done. The day that I do my cooking competition is the last day that this will happen. So I'll for sure be like giving them a shout, like letting people know at the fair. And then also in 2 days, Best of Pierce County comes out. The voting starts on that in a couple weeks. I think in 2 days, I mean. And we got nominated in 6 categories there. Obviously, we want to win the big one, you know, best tacos back to back. That would be crazy. And Mexican restaurant, again, you know what I'm saying? But we're just honored to be thought of when people think of Mexican food or tacos or whatever. It's cool that they think about us. Look at me getting so excited. I'm already messing up. Going home. You do it both. Super mom, dad. Super mom. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate that. I just come to work, I do my job, and I go home. I love my family. I love the community. And did you see your light? Did you see your light in the dining room? I will be more than happy to show it to you right now if you haven't. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna take this food out and then I'm gonna blow your mind. In that order. It's been the talk of the week, I swear. Green, how are you? Good morning. Like I forget sometimes, right? We're all morning people, we're working, and I need to stream more in the morning. That's all I'm saying. I've been enjoying my Zen time, but we could vibe out together. We got another interview today with another line cook too, which is awesome. We're working, building it. We're building the foundation quick. Okay. BRB friends. Alright. You ready? Are we all ready? Ready? Here we go. How sick is that? Sweet. Yeah, I was gonna put it in the kitchen, but you know, honestly, the it needs to be shown to the world. I'm gonna work on this on-air thing today, and then also, what was I going to say? We got a big poster blow up of this of the vote Pacific Northwest that we're gonna put on the window today. But this is it right here. If you guys want to click on that, boom. Rocking and rolling. Yeah, I'm gonna get the little QR codes for the tables too. I'm gonna put them in every bag. Dude, I'm gonna go all out, watch. I'm gonna print like 100 of them. I'm gonna put them in every single bag. Let them know. Right? And then I'm gonna send an email out. I only do it a couple times a year, but I think it has like, I want to say it has like over 2,000 contacts, and that's always just like a nice little boost, you know. But it costs a pretty penny, but it's worth it, you know. Yeah, huh? Come on down. more than a feeling. I'll be right with you guys. 1 second. I'll be right with you. That's cool, Kiko. That's awesome, man.
Dude, I hope this comes through, bro. It's possible.
We were able to, yeah, nice. Yep, just right in the freezer. Thank you. Well, we have enough. That's good. I didn't know somebody bought some yesterday. Put it up top, Kiko. All the fruit goes up top. Just put it behind everything. We used to. We don't really, yeah, exactly. We don't have the time or the resources anymore like we used to. You know, we kind of, whatever equipment we had beforehand, we either sold it or traded it up to get the equipment that we have here in this restaurant. And it was, you know, it just made sense. Not saying that we're not opposed to it. You know, we're building up the staff, the roster to do stuff like that moving forward. But right now right now is like catering time for us. So we get a lot of catering orders for like graduations, office parties in the summertime and stuff like that. So that takes up a lot of my time, is the catering side of things during the summertime. But once we get enough staff and enough, all right. Once we get enough, then it really isn't too bad. And it's easier to do those fairs and those pop-ups when you have like a truck, you know, commercial equipment to hold it. We used to take like one of our sandwich coolers and just bring the whole thing. But you know, it becomes a little sketch, and I don't feel comfortable doing that without the proper stuff. All you need is somebody not to wash their hands properly, and you know, bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, we had a catering yesterday. Cheyenne knocked that out. We set her up the night before with all the to-go things, you know, all the salsas portioned and things separated. So all she had to do when she came in is just heat up enough meat, put them in the catering boxes, heat up some tortillas, everything separated a la carte. That's it. Boom. Very simple to execute now. Back then, before, it was, oh my gosh, it was an all-day thing. We just count, we multiply. You know, catering is just a numbers game. You count the people, you count the portions. exact amount, and that's it. What up? How's it going? How's everything so far? Good. Awesome. House of Cards, friends. House of Cards. Yeah. Let's get it. Deal with you in a little bit. Yeah. Sapphire, what up? Okay, I gotta do multiple things, all right? Let's keep up. I gotta cut cilantro. I gotta start cheese sauce. I gotta make cafe de olla. And horchata and pulled shrimp, all without losing my marbles. All right, let's go. I don't know why I put oil in that. Get this set up real quick. Friday the 13th. Dun dun dun. Should be so spooked out by that. Now I laugh. All right, what do I need? All right. You listen to everything over here. Good looking cilantro there. All right, put it together. How are we gonna do? Six, seven. Just gonna go in the cooler. Yeah, that's it. But that's the Pacific Northwest, Andrea. So there's another competition that starts in 2 days, and we're in 6 categories in that one. That's Pierce County. That one's for the best in the Northwest. The Seattle Times reached out to us and let us know that we got nominated. So that's like 4 states worth of Mexican restaurants that are in that voting pool. Gosh. I'm just checking the beans for any rocks or any foreign objects that aren't gonna break down. They stand out. You can feel them in your hand. Pinto beans are smooth. If you find a rock or something, you'll feel it right away. I'm just another layer of security. That YouTube short's going viral with the video with the sword in it. How the sword. Working. It's scary. Mess around. Mess around, get cut. There's somebody out there tripping out. Okay. Come on, you. Be a box. Hey, jeez. It's that hit. Okay. Let's get the coffee going. Star anise. Piloncillo. Cinnamon sticks. Bay leaves. Cloves. Cafe. Where you at? Be a box. All right, friends. I don't know if I've made this before. But here, I've made it before. I'm just saying, like on the screen. Cafe de olla. Yay! All right, 2 bay leaves. Let's make it 1 bay leaf. Been a little bit too aromatic lately, flagrant. Too perfumey. All right, 15 cloves. One more for good luck. All right. We're gonna do 10 star anise. Licorice. I'll be right with you.
Good back here, man.
Thank you. Did you give me the food?
I don't know.
Like my grandma, like,
Yeah, we're good.
it wasn't Mexican food.
So, you guys maintain your own hot water heater, or does the landlord? If you have issues with your hot water heater, who takes care of it? The landlord?
We take care of
You
it.
take care of it? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what that is? That's a flap.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
I mean, it can just be popped off and you can put a mesh screen. It's just weird that it does it when it's off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'd say just, I'll let them know, but the easiest and quickest fix is to pop it off and just put a mesh
Okay.
screen over
Yeah,
it.
I've just been dealing with it, you know, so.
It's just weird. I've never,
Yeah.
like, I can see it if it's on, not off.
Thank you.
But yeah.
Sorry for the intrusion.
No, you're good.
I'll be back for food.
They're doing a building inspection right now. Somebody's gonna buy the building. Okay, sorry. Rewind. Piloncillo. This is pure sugar cone. Cool. 4 cinnamon sticks. They have to be Mexican cinnamon sticks. There's different types of cinnamon sticks I've seen. They have some like they have some Indian ones that are very pungent, but they don't taste like cinnamon. They taste more like earthy. The Mexican ones are gonna give you that flavor you're looking for. Yeah, piloncillo. There you go. Okay. And then we're gonna get 3 quarts of hot water. No, it doesn't have to be hot water. 3 quarts of water. We're gonna boil it. No sure. Snap. Okay. Looks good. I kind of want to add chocolate to it because why not? Yeah, why not? Let's do the Abada chocolate. The great thing about this chocolate, there's no preservatives, nothing crazy in it like Abuelita. Abuelita has a lot of things that I can't pronounce. This is just straight goodness. Alright. Wow. So this is gonna boil medium-high heat for 5 minutes or until all the ingredients are dissolved. Okay? We just want it to do its thing. But I'm gonna have to move this to the side because I have to make chispas. So while that's hanging out, we'll clean up and get on to the next task. Yeah, it's the same chocolate. Yep, same chocolate from the mole. And then once it's done, we'll add the rest. The star anise is essentially like licorice. Okay. Coffee's the going. I have a plan. I'm gonna drop this butter. I'm gonna drop the onions on it, and then I'm gonna go bust that table up front. Come back, grab all the ingredients. I'll just let it go right now and I'll do that. Yeah, there's a reason why it's that way, because it has to be like handicap accessible, and the way that it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just like it had to meet like a certain fire code, so we can't do anything to the restroom at all. But we didn't want to do anything. The only thing we'll ever do is cosmetics, anyways, because we don't own the building. You know what I mean? Come on, glove. There we go. I need this. Get to melting. Yeah, we're gonna get some remodeling done like ASAP. I mean, we're gonna do some like more spray paint on the walls and stuff. It's gonna be cool. Okay, all right. Ginger, my pepper. What the heck? Come on. Follow the alphabet. Turmeric, come on. Jeez. Vinagre. Yeah. There it is. Secret ingredient, love. What the heck is going on here? Gosh. LMNOP RSTW. All right. Ooh. All right. Cheese going in. Right back, friends. I can't understand it. I don't know. Maybe it's just like, you know, it's got to be a guide thing for sure. I just feel happy with myself. Come on, dude. All right. You get an alphabet sticker. We all get alphabet stickers. Come on. Come on. All right. Pastovioli. We're gonna and we'll have to look, Andrea. We'll have to look into that because my father-in-law Kiko and I just invested in a floor buffer. So I want to see how that works out for us before. But honestly, floor mats, I've worked with them for a lot of years, and I've worked without them for a lot of years. And in the long run, I think it's better without the floor mats because the uneven terrain messes with your feet. It's not about the cleanliness thing. Charlene, how are you? The coffee. Still not dissolved yet. I turned it down a little bit because I wanted to make sure I got that food. But yeah. Give me a second. Let me dump this cheese real quick before it gets a little dicey. Good, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. To the music. How's everything so far, gentlemen? All right, cool. Yeah. Market, what up? Okay, cheese sauce is going, beans are going. What was I doing? Airbnb. Thank you so much for stopping in. I do. I do. I know my wife has something awesome and exciting planned. I'm looking forward to that. I'll be right back. One second. Okay. This is good to go. Boom. I'm gonna turn that off. This cheese is starting to melt. I'm gonna add the cream to it. Multitasking here. All right, coffee. 2 cups of coffee. And then we're just gonna steep that for 5 minutes. So everything in here is already dissolved. The sugar and the chocolate tablet. So now I'm gonna put 2 cups of coffee in there. Lavazza, in my opinion, is the best coffee brand. It's velvety, it tastes great. All right, so boom. Couple seconds. Restaurant Depot. Cerveza burrito, her. Okay, so now that the coffee is in the pot, we're just gonna give it a quick stir. Try to get everything incorporated. Okay, looks good, smells good. Right there with that bad boy. Gosh. That's not good. We're just gonna keep that covered. All right, timer, we'll go 9. It's 5 minutes, but I'm a little busy right now and I don't want to like have to pay attention to it, so I'm just gonna let it do its thing. Pico, what up? Yeah?
I don't know, bro. It's looking pretty good, dude.
That was the second one?
Yeah, they're chopping it up.
That's tight, dude. Heck yeah.
Nervous. I just showed them a video of the systems I used to build.
Nice.
And they're like, well, you know what? It's a little bit different than what we do. Because we dig a lot. Because we get dirty. I said, dude, I'm not scared, bro. I said, I know how to use it. And I can move some dirt, bro. Big guy.
Yeah.
That's how you got me.
That's good.
And so they're chopping it up. They're gonna let me know what I gotta do to clean it up. And yeah, it's really good.
That's good, dude.
It's like a 35 bucks an hour. I'm gonna pull the trigger.
Do it. Give me like 5 minutes. Like 5 minutes, okay? I'll be right back. Pick it up. I'm finishing that one up right now. Thank you. Wait, what's the modifications? No onions, no cilantro, no salsa. Hey. Kiko, can you give this to that person out there? DoorDash for Sarah, please. Thank you. He's the one at the counter. Huh? No, nothing. They take a picture of the receipt. That's it. They make them do it now. Every order. The owner of the new owner of the building, I think he signed the lease today. I think he bought it. They were all in here. The guys that are there were like looking at the electrical boxes and stuff. That's why I think they bought the building. The guys seem really nice. Personable. The other guy that owns the building or owned the building.
What the deal was with the...
Yeah. Well, they asked me, any problems, any issues? I was like, yeah. Where do I start? No, I'm kidding. He's like, yeah. I was like, there's a couple things here and there, but they start to pile up really fast, And I said, we can look at things and come up with we could do like a walk or something, I can tell you everything that's, Because they asked me about the water heater. They asked me about a couple things.
How much rice you put in a burrito?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that didn't put too much rice.
Yeah. Not too much. 4 ounces. The green scoop is a 4-ounce scoop for the beans. Just try to match the rice with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Good rule of thumb. We're out. Yeah.
Oh, this lady was asking about your restaurant. Walmart.
Oh, really?
She goes, he was the sour cream, and he was working a restaurant. And I told her, and I love my son-in-law's a chef. He came from cheesecake and Maggiano, and I told him he turned Taco World upside down. He got voted the best
Nice.
Mexican restaurant in Oklahoma area. She goes, really? She was learning how to do. She entered it into her phone and everything. She's coming here, bro.
Nice.
And I said, look, he has that chef background. He made these sauces. I said, these sauces is like out of this world. I gotta go try this place.
That's awesome. She's coming. The Walmart crew. Heck yeah. All right, so look, I'm gonna explain this to you guys real quick, to everyone. So the coffee has been sitting in here for 10 minutes with all the ingredients, and it smells great. So the only thing that I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pour it through a cheesecloth and just try to get, I don't wanna get any grains, any coffee grains in there, coffee grinds in there, or any of the ingredients inside the actual coffee. So I'm just gonna strain it, and that's it. And then it's ready to drink. But we'll cool it down. We make iced coffee out of it. Chef wife actually made some horchata cafe, and that a lot of people were ordering it. So now I gotta come with it on my end as soon as I find the cheesecloth. But on that note, I'm gonna take a break, friends. It smells great. And I'll be back later on tonight for the PM shift. Thank you all for watching. Look like great. goofball. Look at me.